Good morning. So I've seen what is electroless plating, isn't it? So very beautiful. So today we're going to discuss how electroless plating of nickel and electroless plating of copper is done. Okay, electroless plating of nickel and copper. So the electroless plating of nickel. So the substrate, you know that this is the substrate. So for this, you're supposed to coat nickel on the surface. The source of the metal is soluble salt. What is the soluble salt? Nickel chloride. So you're supposed to add a reducing agent. What is the reducing agent used? Hypophosphite, that is sodium hypophosphite. And the buffer is acetate pHs. Since it is sodium hypophosphite is an acid, the buffer, pH will be between 4 to 5. Complexing agent used is sodium succinate. Why this so complexing agent is added? Because so when nickel chloride, when you add reducing agent, what will happen? Nickel chloride Ni2 plus will be present. That nickel should not undergo reduction in the solution itself. It should undergo only on the surface of the substrate. The complexing agent when added, it forms a complex with Ni2 plus and releases the Ni2 plus ions only on the surface of the substrate. That is the purpose of adding complexing agent. So complexing agents are added even in the case of electroplating. Whether it is electroplating or electroless plating, the purpose of adding complexing agent is this. So as soon as metal ions are released, it will form a complex with metal ions and releases only on the surface of the substrate. Okay, the temperature is 45 to 60 and cathode as usual it is the article to be plated. So at anode, the phosphate ion undergoes oxidation to liberate the electrons. Thus liberated electrons will be accepted by Ni2 plus and gets reduced on the surface of the substrate. So the applications it is used, you know that you have refrigerator, you have your freezer, fridge. So it is painted. You have it now. You get a different beautiful colors with the floral designs, everything, right? So before painting, you're doing a coating of nickel on the surface of that metal. It might be iron, right? So if paint goes also, if nickel coating is there, if you touch, you will not get a shock. So you will not get electric shock. So if that nickel coating is gone, if you touch that particular refrigerator or washing machine, you will get a shock. So nickel coatings gives shock proof and also serves as a corrosion resistance for that particular metal. That is the main reason why nickel coating is given. So it is as I told, it is given for wear resistant surface. Nickel coating on aluminium improves solderability. Nickel coating is given on high fine knobs, equipment, stops of bottles, etc. Such type of bottles, water bottles, it is given. So refrigerators, water machine undercoat is given. So small machinery parts also nickel coating is given. So next we are supposed to electroless plating of copper is having a tremendous applications. So here we have the surface to be plated is cleaned and oil is removed, oil or grease is removed. So surface is insulated. It is activated by usually it is activated by dipping in stannous chloride and palladium chloride. So the electroplating is carried out like this. So first you are going to activate the substrate by passing, dipping alternatively in stannous chloride and palladium chloride. The source of metal is copper sulfate. So reducing agent added is formaldehyde. When you add formaldehyde, what happens? I'll show you next. So the complexing agent EDTA, buffer is NaOH and temperature is 25 degrees Celsius and pH is 11. Under these conditions, following reactions occur. So the reducing agent is formaldehyde. So formaldehyde undergoes oxidation in presence of a base, that is sodium hydroxide, to give a format ion and electrons. So these electrons will be accepted by the Cu2 plus ions present in the electrolyte to give copper, and that copper will get deposited on the surface of the substrate. So major application is in the manufacture of PCB. What is PCB? PCB is printed circuit board. If you open your CPU, you will see PCB, isn't it? So it is used in manufacture of PCB. So PCB is nothing but printed circuit board. So I think you might have seen in your CPUs, when you open CPUs, you'll have a green color boards, right? So those CPUs, have opened a CPU, I have taken a motherboard. You can see this, right? This is PCB, printed circuit board. You can see the circuit is printed here. This is not a single circuit. This is more than 5 to 6 circuits which are compressed together to form a single printed circuit board. So earlier used to have many the size of our television used to be very huge, and the size of tape record also used to be huge, because each component or two three components used to be in one cardboard, and later it used to be connected to the other cardboard using, either in series or parallel. Now, due to contribution of this PCB, invention of this PCB, all the components can come in one PCB itself. So many circuits. So one circuit, this is one circuit, then it will be another circuit here. It will be interconnected either in series and parallel. So due to that, the volume of the television or radio is to be huge. Because of PCB, the volume is reduced. That is one contribution, and other thing is mainly because of your nanotechnology. So let us see how this PCB is manufactured. So later it is used in plating insulators. It is used in through-hole connections. What is through-hole connections? We'll discuss. I'll tell you these various steps involved in PCB. Manufacture of PCB is diagrammatically represented over here like this. So first we're going to take a plastic base on which, if this is the plastic base, we're going to coat copper on either sides of this. So later we're going to put the tracks using each resistant chemical. So each resistant chemical means when you dip in some chemical, that circuit should not be removed. It is called as each resistant chemical. On either sides of the plastic, we're going to coat copper. Then we're going to print the circuit using each resistant chemical. Later we're going to dip it in ammonia, where except on the circuit, everywhere else the copper is removed. You can see this green color thing, lines are circuits. These are circuit. You can see the circuit here, and everywhere else it is plastic. So we're going to take one by one circuit, and we're going to keep one above the other like this and compress. And we're keeping one above the other. Care should be taken care that the circuits are not overlapped. Now we want to connect the first circuit with the last circuit. How do you connect? We're going to drill a hole. After drilling a hole, if I pass the current, what happens? The current circuit is not connected, because on the first circuit there is a copper, last circuit there is a copper, in between there is a plastic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to electrolessly plate copper through that hole. So when you plate copper through that hole, when I pass current, what will happen? The first and last circuit are connected. This is called as through hole connection. This is how PCBs are manufactured. The small video here which shows manufacture of PCB. So by this you can make out how PCB is manufactured. You can just go for it. The tracks are produced there. Step by step from plastic to PCB. Each and every step is shown here. What it is. It needs to be wide, like a big mat. so neatly packed for delivery. So this is how PCBs are manufactured, and there is and we receive for end use. Thank you.